Hello everyone. Please do be kind to me today. We're going to just have what I am going to do today, as I said, is just do a brief overview of Japan. There is a lot to cover because there are a lot of locations involved. So it will be a general overview of everything, but do feel free to ask me any questions at the end if you want to hear about anything in more detail. But like I say, we'll just touch on the cities where the universities are located that are attending today, and also some of the main areas of Japan that we don't have universities for, but just so you've got a general overview of Japan. So, as I said, my name is Tim Chrisbrook, and I work for Inside Japan Tours. We basically send people on trips to Japan on holiday. I myself studied Japanese Language and Society at Oxford Brookes University, and because of that, I got to live in the city of Nagoya for 1 year, from 2007 to 2008. That allowed me a lot of time to experience Japan as a culture, but also to travel around, experience the country on a wider basis. And it's now led to me being able to work and live Japan every day, which is wonderful. I mean, some of the pictures I've got here, it goes from the length and breadth of the country. So I've got myself in the north in Hokkaido there, all the way down to Okinawa in the bottom left. So it's a very diverse country, and obviously somewhere that we'd like to send you to, and obviously do have an interest. So has anybody actually been to Japan here in the room? Okay, so not too many. So like I say, you probably know some things, but like I say, I just want to cover some of the main points about the cities that that are here today. For a brief overview of Japan, there are actually 6,582 islands, although only 4 of them are the main islands where people live. So a lot of them are very small, but they are still counted. The coastline is 29,751 kilometres, so it's a very big country. It is 70% mountainous, so everything is based around the coast. You will find most of the cities are based around this southern coastal area. Yes, and the landmass is comparable to Germany, which you wouldn't think to look at it on a map. It's very similar to California as well in its length, so it's a lot bigger than the UK. Like I say, on a map, it certainly doesn't seem that way though. The population is 127 million, so lots of people. Most of them are in Tokyo, rather unsurprisingly. So it's 37 million people and growing by the day. So, yes. Anyway, what we're going to start with is up in the north, so I'm going to go from north to south. Hokkaido is personally one of my favourite areas. It's the northernmost island of the 4 main islands, so like I say, we will cover them all. The capital of the island itself, it is one prefecture, rather than like on the mainland, there's lots of smaller ones. Hokkaido is a prefecture in and of itself. It was only recently urbanised, and the capital is Sapporo, which was built around 1866. So it's quite new compared to a lot of Japanese cities and locations. And it's very Western in the influence because of that. So if you are looking for somewhere quite with a familiar feel to live and work, then it is a nice place to go. Because it is so far north, it is very cold during the winter. I mean, it has already started snowing there at this time of year. It did about this time last month. And it's well known for the snow festival that they have every February. I think they're on 86 now, so it's been going strong every year. You see in the top right there the great sculptures that they have at the ice festival. But it's not just the winter wonderland that you see in all of the material about Hokkaido. In spring and summer, it is well known for the lavender fields that they've got there. So it is somewhere that you could go if you're looking to do study about agriculture. They do have quite a strong agriculture in the northern areas there with Western influences, lots of dairy and farming. It is home to Hokkaido University, which is based in Sapporo. And like I say, Sapporo is a nice city to live in general. So it is somewhere to consider. It does have good links to the rest of the country, but you will have to fly in most instances. The commuter route between Sapporo and Tokyo is the busiest in the world. So lots of flights every day. Moving down, and like I say, we are going through quite quickly, but there's a lot to cover. Moving down onto the main island itself is Honshu. So this is where the majority of Japan that you will know of exists. The northern area that we're covering here is Tohoku. Now, most recently, it's been known because of the earthquake in 2011. So we've just had the 5th anniversary of this. And it was quite important to my company. Lots of people that I worked with were there when it happened. There has been a great recovery effort. It is a testament to the Japanese spirit and how well it's been rebuilt since then. Sendai, the main city in the area, is the capital of Miyagi Prefecture. So it's just on the coast there. And it was quite hard hit by the tsunami that resulted from the earthquake. But as you can see, it's recovered. It is known as the City of Trees. There are lots of plants and trees there because historically a lot of people were encouraged to plant trees in their gardens, and this has persisted to the modern day. So as you can see, lots of green. If you're looking for quite a natural city, it is a nice place to live. There is also Matsushima, which is down here in the bottom right. So it's quite nice if you like to get out on the sea as well. A friend of mine did study there. She studied marine biology, and so that she was able to indulge her interest there as well. Historically, it's home of the Date clan, so it's quite important in samurai history as well, if you do have an interest in that. And it is home to Sendai University, as the name would suggest. Again, it does have good links. There is the Shinkansen bullet train that you can take into Tokyo. Mostly it's leads back to Tokyo, as we'll find soon. But yes, like I say, do consider Tohoku. It's often forgotten, but it is a lovely area with lots of wonderful nature to see. Moving down, of course, Tokyo. Everybody does know Tokyo. It's a bit of a beast, as I describe it quite a lot. It's very similar to London in that it's huge. It is the capital of Japan. It's one of the largest cities in the world, and it is a prefecture all in and of itself, rather than just a city or capital of the prefecture. It is the world's most populous metropolitan area, so it's got around 37.8 million people in that central area of Tokyo. So it's quite densely packed and very cosmopolitan. You'll find more non-Japanese people in Tokyo than you would in the rest of the country, and so if you are concerned about feeling like an outsider at all or anything like that, you will feel at home at Tokyo, because, like I said, there is a great mix of a number of people there. So yeah, it's often ranked as one of the safest cities in the world as well. So again, if you're concerned about living in a different country and that, you're worried about crime, not that it's a big problem in Japan anyway, but Tokyo is one of the safest around. It does house a number of world-class universities, which are, of course, here today. And yeah, it just has so much history, so much culture to it. Previously, it was known as Edo, and that led to the Edo period. And yes, it's gone from that period all the way through to the ultra-modern side of Japan that you do see quite often in all of the advertising these days. But there is a lot of history still to see. Let's see. So, yes, do get the second slide. There are a lot of subcultures in Tokyo. So what I did want to touch on is if you are considering doing a study in anthropology, for example, it is a wonderful place to go because you can look into these subcultures that they have there. One of the main ones there is the Ganguro clan, which are very lovely looking ladies, as you can see. But there's a culture for everything, really. And yeah, it's just so diverse. It's very hard to condense it all into a small presentation like this. You could do a presentation on Tokyo for another 40 minutes by itself. But of course, I do have to cover other areas. But it's not all these modern subcultures. There is, as I say, a lot of history to it as well. There's the Yanaka area and also Nippori, where you can see a lot of the old town areas. So you don't necessarily have to miss the old traditional side of Japan whilst living in Tokyo. And of course, Tokyo does have great links to the rest of the country. So if you are looking to explore, it's a great place to be based. And as I say, a number of different universities that are based there. I won't go through them all, but say there are a number of them there. Also, just outside Tokyo is Tsukuba. So Tsukuba is more well known for the Tsukuba Science City. If you do have an interest in technology or the sciences, then it is a wonderful place to study. It has been designated as a scientific discovery area, essentially, so more of a technology and research town in and of itself. It does have a lot of good bakeries, I've heard, as well, more recently. So it's very easy to access. The eponymous Tsukuba Express leaves from Akihabara and takes you all the way through to the centre of Tsukuba. So again, if you do like the big feel of Tokyo or London even, and you still want to take that with you when you go to Japan, then you can live and work in Tsukuba and easily take the train into Tokyo. It takes about 40 minutes just to get to Akihabara. So, and Tsukuba University is based there. It is one of the oldest universities in Japan. It does have a lot of history to it, and they are leading in a lot of tech research at the moment. As say, it is a science city, so somewhere to consider. Moving down further south, so we're still on Honshu at the moment. Yamanashi Prefecture is just near Mount Fuji, so if you are looking for less of a city experience and something a bit more rural with more nature, and then Yamanashi is somewhere to consider. Kofu is the capital of the prefecture. It has historical ties to the Warring States period with samurai, so it was home to the Takeda clan. So again, if you're a history buff, it's somewhere nice to be based. They're a leading producer in fruit, so lots of good food to be had in that area as well. It does also have easy access to the Fuji Five Lakes area, which is a wonderful natural park area where, again, Fuji is based, as the name would suggest, but you can experience lots of traditional accommodation there called ryokan, and the hot springs, the onsen, are around there as well. So if you're looking for a break, it's easy to go from Kofu down that area. There's a lot of good links, and you will have really nice views, as you can see there. That is Kofu in the bottom right-hand corner. Right. So, moving on the north coast of Japan, on the other side, we don't usually see a lot of big cities, but Kanazawa is based just to the north of Tokyo, or to the northwest. It's often referred to as Little Kyoto, and most of us will know Kyoto because it is the cultural capital, and I will get onto it in just a moment. But it is smaller and quieter than Kyoto. It's lesser known, but it's one of my personal favourite places in Japan. It's got a lot of history and culture and heritage to it. It's home to one of the most beautiful gardens in the country, if not the world, which is Kenroku-en, which is what you can see in the top right here. It also has a preserved samurai district, so Nagamachi, which is here in the bottom right. So, like I say, there is a lot of history that they are rightly proud of in Kanazawa. And again, somewhere that's easily accessible from Tokyo. The bullet train does run there. They finished that a few years ago. And also quick links to Kyoto and Osaka, which are other big cities in the country. It is also well known for its arts and crafts, including gold leaf and silk dyeing, and you can have gold leaf ice cream whilst you're there, which is always nice. They do have a really nice modern art scene there as well. It's not the best picture, but the one down here is just outside one of the installations they have there, and it's just near Kenroku-en, so it's all very centralised and just a wonderful place to live, in my opinion. Right, Kyoto. Again, it's kind of hard to condense Kyoto into one slide because it is the old imperial capital. It's the old cultural capital, so it does have a lot of history attached to it. It is also well known for all of the traditional arts and crafts. So the only remaining geisha district is actually working out of Kyoto at the moment. So that remains one of their main trades. And you will often see them walking to and from their jobs whilst you're living in Kyoto. And it is part of the charm, really. A lot of people have a lot of love for Kyoto and living there, and see it as one of their favourite places in the world because it has all of these places that are quite iconic of Japanese culture. There's Fushimi Inari, which is on the bottom right here, Kinkakuji, so many temples, so many shrines, and lots of imperial history there as well. It is home to Kyoto University and Ritsumeikan, so two very good universities. And yeah, if you're looking to study more Japanese history and that kind of thing, it is a great place to be based, and it is very centrally based, so easy to get around the country from there as well. Moving on to its neighbour, Osaka, only about a 15-minute ride away on the bullet train. It is often seen as the second city of Japan, so it is the largest city in the Kansai region, which is this region you can see here on the map, which is where Kyoto is sort of based as well. And it does have a very lively atmosphere. People from Osaka are often seen as a lot warmer and more friendly than those in Tokyo. Whether that's true or not, it's up to you to decide if you do choose to go there. But they are well known for that warm nature of theirs. They also originated the two-man comedy act, Mansai, which I'm quite proud of there as well. And Kansai locals are very proud of their home, which, rightly so, it is a wonderful city with lots going on and an atmosphere all of its own. It's often referred to as the kitchen of Japan, so if you do like food and you're looking to try Japanese food, you can find pretty much everything there, and they have lots of unique staples in Osaka, such as takoyaki, as we've got in the bottom right here, which is octopus balls. I'm personally not a great fan, but there are people who absolutely love it. And yeah, its position as a port city means it's a great business hub. So, you know, if you are looking to move into business, it's a great place to be based there, because there are a lot of Japanese companies that are based around the Osaka area. And of course, Osaka University is based there. So, yeah, again, great links to the rest of the country, and just a wonderful place to live, in my opinion. Moving down, there are no universities here represented today from Shikaku. Shikaku is one of the other 4 main islands of Japan, so we've moved away from Honshu. People often forget about Shikaku because it's not as well advertised as the rest of Japan. There are no real big cities there, but it's no less attractive. As you can see, there's some wonderful landscape to be seen there. So if you are looking to, again, get away from the city and have some time off whilst you're living in Japan, it's a great place to go. The Iya Valley, so the top right and bottom picture here are Iya Valley. It has been popularised by Alex Kerr's Lost Japan, where he details about how he restores a traditional townhouse in the 70s. So it is worth reading just to see about the transition from traditional Japan to more modern Japan. It's an interesting read. And also Naoshima, the art island, as it's often referred to, is also based on Shikoku. And there's lots of works by the well-known artist Yayoi Kusama. The pumpkin on the port is often seen in lots of advertising for Naoshima. And there are just lots of art installations based around the island. So, you know, it is one of the leading places for modern art and that kind of thing in Japan. Moving further down, so we have moved all the way away from Honshu now. Kyushu is the other main island, the last of the 4 main islands that we'll look at today. It's the furthest south, and it's well known for the volcanic terrain around there and its warmer climes. So if you want to get away from the British weather, it's a nice place to study, because it is warm throughout the year, really, it being further south and closer to the tropics. Fukuoka is the main city there, and the largest on Kyushu. It has easy access to other towns in the area, and the bullet train to Tokyo does end up there. It does take about 6 hours though, so, but it does cover a lot of land in that time. So, again, it's a testament to Japanese technology and efficiency that you can cover that much ground in one journey. More recently known for the sinkhole that appeared in the last couple of weeks, but they did fix it in a week, as you may have noticed. So, again, testament to Japanese efficiency. Fukuoka is a city. I spent a few days there myself, but didn't get to experience it too much. But I have a number of friends who did live there, and they found it to be one of their favourites to actually live in. It has great nightlife. It's very friendly to international students. Lots of shopping there. So whilst it may not be the first place people would choose for tourism, if you are choosing to study abroad, it is certainly somewhere to consider, because it does have a wealth of amenities there for you, and has, again, its own kind of atmosphere. It's well known for good food, much like Osaka. Hakata ramen is often quoted as the best ramen, although that's very subject to opinion. Yes, it is home to Kyushu University in Fukuoka. So, again, somewhere I think would be worth considering. Because Kyushu is very nice, especially if you are looking at doing volcanology or that kind of geographical study. They do have a volcano there, which, again, was in the news this year. Kumamoto, which is further south down the coast, is where they had the earthquake and following that volcanic eruption. And so, yes, earthquakes are part of life in Japan. It's nothing to be too concerned about because they do have a lot of infrastructure for or being prepared for that kind of thing. So don't let that put you off visiting or living in Japan because it's something you'll only experience maybe once a year, but it won't be bad. So going even further south, all the way down to Okinawa. A lot of people know Okinawa because of the modern history of the ties to the Second World War, but it's not technically Japan in a lot of ways. It was home to the Ryukyu culture. So it used to be the seat of the Ryukyu Kingdom, which was known for lots of trade around the Edo period. And it does have quite a different feel to it. I mean, Shuri Castle, which is the one on the bottom here, as you can see, it's very different from the castles you'd find on the mainland, and it's got that Eastern Asian influence. So if you're looking for a change of pace or to study some more indigenous cultures, then either there or Hokkaido, where we started, are good because of the Ryukyu culture and Ainu, respectively. There are chances to go diving and hiking through tropical forests down in Okinawa, so it's a great place to go on holiday if you're based in Japan. And as you can see, like the difference from the mainland is quite clear. You can see tropical beaches and everything. So Japan really does have every kind of climate covered, going from the snow in the north all the way down to the tropics down south. And Okinawa is very easily accessible by plane. Again, from Tokyo, there are regular departures, about 10 a day at least. So, yeah, it is very popular, certainly with Japanese people for holidays, but it's growing more with an international community as well. Right. One thing I was going to mention, 5 must-dos in Japan. So when you do go to Japan, if you choose to live in Japan, these are some of the things I would suggest doing, just so you get that traditional experience. Getting a chance to go into the onsen hot springs is a wonderful experience. You do have to share the baths and go in with no clothes, which can be a bit daunting for British people sometimes. But please do get over that and try the experience, because it is so very relaxing and it's an integral part of Japanese culture, really. So it's something that you can't really miss whilst you're in Japan. Attached to that really is the traditional ryokan stay. So with the tatami mat floors, sleeping on futon, having traditional kaiseki food, all small dishes that complement each other very well. That is something I would say to do whilst you're there, just because, again, it's something integral to Japanese culture as a whole, and something that you can't really experience elsewhere in the world. Please do try Japanese food. It will be hard not to whilst you're there, obviously, but there is a wealth of different food to try. Sushi there, taken by one of my friends on his recent trip. Some of the best tuna in the world, he said. But there is also lots of things that you probably will have heard of. Ramen, okonomiyaki, one of my favourites. Takoyaki, the kaiseki that I just referred to. And yeah, the list really does go on. There's just a lot to see and eat, including crickets sometimes. But yeah, that's only sometimes. Anyway, sorry. And you can also ride the bullet train. It will be quite hard not to, again. Students often will receive some kind of discount. You can sometimes get that through university, so I was able to do that myself, which helped me travel around. So it is worth inquiring about if you're over there. And yeah, it's a wonder of modern technology, really. It speeds you up to speeds of 300 miles in some instances. And yes, it can take you from Tokyo all the way down to Kyoto in about 2 hours, which is a long distance, really. It'd be similar to going from London to Edinburgh or somewhere closer in Scotland. So yes, do try. And the links for the Shinkansen are growing day by day. So there are more lines starting, and they pretty much all end up in Tokyo. So if you're based in Tokyo, you can go anywhere you want in the country, really. And do get out to meet locals. I mean, yeah, you don't want to be insular and only talk to other foreigners whilst you're in Japan. If you're studying there, you do want to get out and meet the local people, make some Japanese friends. That is the best way, really, to get to know Japanese culture and go beyond those stereotypes that you might see in the media. So do make sure to go to an izakaya, as we have at the bottom here. These are some friends of mine. And have a good time. I mean, izakayas are a wonderful combination of bar and a restaurant all in one. And yeah, it's, like I said, that is my top tip, really. Just make sure to speak to Japanese people, learn the language, try to integrate whilst you're there. So, yeah, sorry, I did fly through that quite a bit, but that is all I have. I do have lots of time for questions now. 10 minutes? Yeah. If anyone does have any questions, please do let me know. Now is the time. Yeah. Healthcare in Japan, yeah. So you will have to, you will pay insurance on a monthly basis. So if you don't have the insurance, the cost will be high, but it will usually be a couple of thousand yen per month, which is equal to about £20 or so at this point. So, and then if you do run into trouble, you can just use that at the local hospital. So it, again, very good infrastructure there. You won't run into any problems. There are a lot of English-speaking doctors around as well, so you needn't worry about getting ill and not being able to find help. Certainly the universities here as well would be able to help with getting healthcare sorted for you. So. Were there any other questions? No? Well, I will be around. Oh, sorry.
How does it work in terms of visas?
Visas, it would be best to speak to the embassy, because I wouldn't be able to say entirely myself, but it is quite easy to arrange. I arranged my student visa myself through the local embassy. At the time, it was about £50, I believe, for the year, and yeah, it covers you for the whole year, and you can have a little bit of time off towards the end, really, although it can be quite strict, the terms of the visa, so try not to overrun too much, or come home when they ask you to, but it's easy to arrange at the embassy. Yeah.
There's a company, I'm not sure if it does runs in Europe, but it's called Airbnb, where
Yeah.
you can stay in country
Yep.
for a while. Is there are there companies like that in Japan?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Airbnb does operate in Japan as well, so you can use that when staying if you're looking to do something more budget. There's lots of travel companies out there as well, like the company I'm from today. We arrange lots of trips and can help people with getting into Japan, essentially, because it can be, the language barrier, it can be quite daunting for some people. But yeah, with things like Airbnb, often they will be English speakers anyway, and so it's quite easy to arrange. There's lots of places out there to stay, so really high-class accommodation as well. Some of the places in Tokyo are quite central and good. So. Yeah, well, like I say, I will be around for a little bit, so if anybody does have any questions, do feel free to come and find me. I do have some cards if you just wanted my details to ask any questions at a later date, or if you did want a holiday to Japan rather than study, it's fine. But I would recommend studying in Japan. Like I say, it's changed my life. I now get to live and work and do something that I have a great passion for every day. So yeah, please do have a good talk to the universities today and see if there's something out there for you. So, thank you very much for listening.